So in this episode, what I'd like to show you is how to export your file and how to crop your file and export your file so that it actually comes out proper size, and also how to apply a profile to our export file as well, so we can go ahead and send this or deliver this to a photo lab of our choice for assignment number 2 and get things done properly. So what I'm going to do in this case is just go ahead and pick on an image to work on. Let's say I want to work on this Colosseum image right here. I'm going to go ahead and turn this into color. And let's say, and part of the reason why I picked this image too, because it has a lot of tones in there. This would really show me the capability of the print lab, whether they can do a really good job or not so much of a good job in terms of printing and reproducing the color to the full fidelity that I see on my screen. I'm going to go ahead and adjust this image, making sure it looks great. Once I adjust this and make sure that it's perfect, I'm going to just leave it as is so that I have a control group image or a control file where every single image that I sent to a lab is from the same original file, as you can kind of see here. Again, feel free to use the tools that you've learned so far. In this case, I want to use HSL to kind of saturate more of the sky and also darken the sky a little bit as well, if you can kind of see there. Okay. And I can also change the hue and make the sky a little bit more bluer at the same time. You can kind of see there. There's a little speck in the sky there. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and use the clone tool here to kind of remove that sensor dust that I have. There's a few actually. So there's one right there. I'm going to go ahead and remove that one. And I'm going to remove a few of the sensor dust right here and click on a few more spots like so. So let's say I've done a pretty good job there removing sensor dust. I'm going to inspect my file, make sure everything looks great, which I think it does. From this point, what I'm going to go do is I'm actually going to mosey on over to Costco website. Let's say we're going to actually print these images through Costco. So I'm going to go ahead and type in Google search here, Costco. And Costco can be considered one of your online labs if you like, or it can be one of the local labs, so you can just kind of play with that. If I go and search in Google here, Costco print profile, is going to lead me to this website here called drycreekphoto.com/ICC. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. It's going to load the Dry Creek Photo Lab website here, and it's going to show some printers, and I'm going to go over some more details from there as well. Alright, so if we look here on the state on the side for Dry Creek Photo, we live in California. We're going to go ahead and click on that, and this is where you can pick the Costco you want to use. Let's say we just want to go somewhere near Santa Monica. Let's use Fountain Valley Costco. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. So for Fountain Valley Costco, it tells you to that's Fremont. That's the wrong one. Oh, there you go. Fountain Valley on top. Okay, there we go. So it tells you the Fountain Valley one, where is it located at, the phone number, store info, what printer it is, and you can download the profile of these printers. Just notice though that when you order the print from them, you need to first decide whether you want glossy or luster. And from there, what you do is once you send the lab, you need to put in the custom, order or the little comments there too, that the prints need to be printed on this printer particularly, and you need to define that for them, otherwise they won't know, which makes literally your profile wash. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is download the ICC profile. The profile is always going to download as a .icc file, so I'm going to go ahead and save file here. So it's downloading this file to my download folder. I'm going to go take a look right there. If you can kind of see, that's the file. Oops, excuse me. That's the file I just downloaded, that Costco file on top. So to install this, I would go ahead and close the web browser or minimize it. Minimize Lightroom. Go to the hard drive here, and you can do this on a machine at school as well. It's called Macintosh HD. And in this case, what we're going to do here is go inside the user folder. And under the user folder, you're going to see there's going to be one user folder that has like that home folder thing. Just go ahead and click on the triangle and expand it. What you really want to come here is under Library, Documents. Okay. You want to go to Library, Documents, or excuse me, library, color sync, right here, and come inside to profile. You can go ahead and double click on profile, and literally what you do here is just drag that profile over, paste it like so, and now we're gonna activate the profile of the Lightroom. So you come to your home folder. Let me go back there just to kind of show you one more time. Is under the users folder. You can kind of see there under the actual username for this computer. I'm gonna highlight all these up. Library, color sync, and then profile. Okay, for Windows, the folder to install the profile is going to be under System 32, and I believe is a folder called Spool. Okay, so you can try that one out for Windows users. Alright, so now that I've dropped the profile into this profile folder right here, if I double check here by expanding it, the Costco profile is in there, glossy. I'm going to go back in Lightroom. There's one problem with this image. It's not cropped to 8:10 yet, so I'm going to go ahead and crop this. I'm going to set the aspect ratio here to 4:5, 8:10, and let's say I want to move it out a little bit this way. Okay, so I have my control group file. It looks great now. What I'm going to literally do with this file is go ahead and click on File, Export. Okay, and if you come down here, you just have to select a specific folder that you want to export to. In this case, what we're going to do is export to our hard drive. So if you click on Choose here, highlight your hard drive, go ahead and click create a new folder called AO2 underscore your last name, art, or A underscore prints. These are going to be the prints that you're going to be sending out to the lab and so forth. So in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and create that folder. In fact, I already have a folder created, so I'm going to go ahead and select that and choose it like so. Alright, so the next thing is file name. You want to make sure your file is already properly named. This is not properly named yet, so I'm going to say click on rename here and say rename to custom name. Again, I'm going to put my name there, the notation, and the place that I'm saying this to. So for instance, if you're saying this to icon, you come type in here icon. In this case, we're sending to Costco. We're going to say COSTCO Costco for that case. The next thing we're going to come through is file setting. Under file setting, we're going to pick the file format. Most of the time, the lab will require us to export JPEG, so we're going to choose JPEG here in this case, quality 100. If your lab requires a TIFF, which is not uncommon, just make sure that you export the TIFF, define the color space properly according to what they want. Most of the time, you'll be using 8-bit for the bit depth, and your compression, you wouldn't be compressing anything at all, especially for TIFF file. In this case, we're dealing with JPEG. We're going to do sRGB. Well, not really. We're going to apply the Costco custom profile there. So to do that, what we're going to do is in this export dialog here, we're going to go ahead and click on color space. And we're going to go ahead and click on others. When we click on others, it's going to pull up this choose the profile dialog. If you can kind of see here, it's like, oh, hey. Choose the profile appear to be in a pop-up. This is the Costco one we want to use, so we're going to actually say, click on there and just say, I want to use that profile. Press OK. And now, under color space, if you look down here, you can always apply that profile now to any single image that you export. Okay. As I mentioned, a few more things here. We want to make sure that we set the image size so that the long edge here, we're going to click on that and say resize to fit long edge. Make sure it's 10, and make sure that this is set to inches, not centimeters, not pixels, okay? And set the proper resolution. Most of the time, the lab will require 300 pixels per inch. Depending on the lab, some might require 240, some might even ask you to give a higher resolution file. So, just something to keep in mind there. Do not sharpen for output. And so, just make sure you look at your metadata. None of these are checked down here. Once you're done with that, go ahead and click on export. Lightroom is going to go ahead and put an export file into that location, a hard drive. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look there. So give me a second. I'm going to go to my hard drive here. I'm going to go to the prints folder. And if you can kind of see there, I have a AO2 so one saying Costco JPEG. This is going to be the file that I would be sending to Costco to print and so forth. And this is already have the Costco profile attached to it. So that's a brief nutshell in terms of answering your question regarding regarding how to export your print with profile for this assignment AO2.